Hello, the physics students. Welcome to Educate. In this video, we'll be continuing with our solid state physics. This is part 2 of our series. Today, we'll be looking at the lattice vector. Just a quick recap. Last time I introduced to you what a crystal lattice is. You understood that a crystal lattice is one of the things that is found in a crystalline solid and all of those properties. So now we'll be looking at the geometry of a lattice. So we'll be looking at the lattice vector. The lattice vector. All right, let's just listen to these terms carefully. We are talking about a lattice vector here. So a lattice, whenever you want to describe it, it's just a geometric structure that has got a repeating pattern that we are able to trace out. All right, for example, you are able to see that in this particular diagram that you are given here, this is a cubic lattice because you are able to see that this is made up of cubes. If you watch my previous video, we understand how the cubic lattice looks like in more detail. But basically, you can see that here we're having a cubic lattice because we're having cubes that are defining the lattice points. There's a cubic lattice and it looks wonderful. And usually when we're having atoms here, these atoms here, we form this cubic crystal lattice. So we have got certain vectors that we use to be able to describe the crystal lattice. Remember, last time I introduced to you the unit cell. I told you that the unit cell, it is the smallest building block of a lattice. Okay, the unit cell is the smallest building block of the crystal lattice, and then it has got a repetitive pattern. So it means that we have got many cubes in this lattice. For example, in this particular lattice, I can be able to trace for you quite a couple of cubes here. We've got many cubes here. This is a cube. This is a cube structure. So this one is a cubic lattice. That is why the smallest building block that we are finding here, or our unit cell, you can see that it is a what? It is a cubic structure type of cell. It looks like a cube. So this cubic structure here, we can be able to use it because once we observe that this small cubic structure or this small unit cell known as this small cubic structure known as a unit cell, it keeps on repeating itself because we've got many other cubes that are actually joined to one another. Okay, these many other cubes, they are joined to one another to form what? Joined to one another to form a crystal lattice. I want you to see this carefully. This is another cube again. Let me just highlight another one using blue color, another color. So this is another cube, the other cube that follows this one. We have got one more cube here. So if you can observe carefully here that in this lattice, we are having this red cube here, and then we've got another blue cube behind it. If we keep on making these traces, we find out that these cubes, they keep on repeating themselves, learners. Okay, the cubes keep on repeating themselves. They've got a repetitive pattern. That is why when we describe a unit cell, we say that a unit cell, it is a what? It is the smallest repeating building block of a crystal lattice. So now when we now use mathematical advantages or mathematical knowledge to make things easier, we can be able to describe one vector that is known as a lattice vector. Okay, what is a lattice vector? The lattice vector is a geometric displacement vector, and this geometric displacement vector, it connects any 2 points in a periodic lattice. We say that the lattice is periodic because it keeps on repeating itself. It keeps on becoming repetitive. Okay, it keeps on repeating itself over and over and over again. Okay, so the lattice vector, it is just that displacement vector that connects 2 points in a lattice. For example, when you look at these particular vectors that I've mapped out for you, we've got vector A that is connecting this lattice point here and this other lattice point. So let me just pretend that we don't have any atoms. It's just lattice points. A lattice is just a shape, guys. Once it has got some atoms, we now call it a crystal lattice, okay? But if you hear me saying lattice, we're just talking about this shape that is having these cubes that are repeating continuously and continuously. So here, when you look at a lattice vector, learners, the lattice vector, it connects 2 points, or it connects 2 lattice points with one another. So here you can see that the lattice vector A, it is connecting this particular point to this other point in the crystal lattice. Then we have got here another lattice vector B, which is connecting this particular atom here at the center with this other atom here. Okay, the ones that I'm showing here with my little hand. And then when you look at the lattice vector C, the lattice vector C, it is connecting this point here and this point here. So this point here and this point here. So basically a lattice vector, it connects 2 points in a periodic lattice or in a lattice that keeps on repeating itself. All right. So when we want to describe the lattice vector, we describe the lattice vector as R is equals to UA times V times vector B times W times vector C. And then you might be wondering, what in the world is this? First of all, when we know these three lattice vectors, you can be able to locate any other point here on the crystal lattice, okay, from just these 3 lattice vectors. Because one thing that we know is that, first of all, if I say that this is my reference point, so I'm going to say that this point here that I'm highlighting with yellow is my reference point. It means that I'm starting there. All my lattice vectors are starting at that point. Okay, all my lattice vectors are starting exactly at that point. And I know that from this point, I've got a lattice vector A. The lattice vector A, it is the red one. This is the lattice vector A. It is the red one, the one that moves kind of like along the y-axis. If you're going to use a coordinate system here, we can say that our z-axis, it goes up vertically, and then we have got our y-axis going horizontally, and then we have got our x-axis moving diagonally. So here in this particular case, we can say that the vector A here is along the x-axis. It is showing us how we move from this reference lattice point, the one where we started, to this other one that is along the what? Along the x-axis. Okay, and then when I look at vector B, the green one, let's focus now on vector B, the green one. When I want to move from this reference vector, this yellow highlighted vector, to the next one along the x-axis, because this is our x-axis, right? So if I want to move along the x-axis here, I need to move vector B. I need to move with a vector B. Okay, like why I need to just put one vector B to be able to move from this to that one. Okay, so this is another lattice vector. And for me to move from this reference lattice again, to move up to this one, to this lattice point, I need to move with vector what? With vector C as well. Okay, so this is what I'm actually having here. So from what I'm having here, what can I say? I can just definitely say that for me to be able to locate any point on the lattice, I just need to multiply these 3 vectors with a certain scalar. Okay, I just need to multiply these 3 vectors with a certain scalar, and I want us to demonstrate that so that we can be able to see this clearly. All right, let me just take the top view of a crystal lattice. This is a top view of a crystal lattice. That is why it looks 2-dimensional. Here I only have 2 vectors because it is a top view of a crystal lattice. Yes, it does have a z-axis. It does have a z-axis that continues like this, but I'm not showing it. I'm just showing you the top view alone. Just appreciate it the way it is. And in this top view, I'm having the lattice vector A, the one that is moving along the x-axis, and the lattice vector B, the one that is moving along the y-axis. So these are just my arbitrary y and the x-axis. Remember, the x-axis and the y-axis, you can just name them in any order. Okay, so this is my y-axis, this is my x-axis. So in this coordinate system that I've decided to adopt, I can say that to move from this reference point, which is point O, and to move to point A, I need to move 1 times vector A. I need to move like 1 vector A. So for me to move from point O to point A along the lattice, I need to move A units. I need to just move with this. I just need to move this vector once. Okay, because you can see that this vector is between point O and point A. So for me to move from point O in the lattice and go to point A, I need to move this vector, small letter A. This is the vector showing the displacement, or this is the vector showing my movement from O to A. If I want to move now from O to B, if I'm moving from this reference point from O to B, I need to move a displacement vector, which is this B here that I'm having. Okay, so the lattice vector, it is showing me how do I displace or how do I move from one lattice point to another. What if I want to move now? Let's just say I want to move from point O and then I want to move to point C. I want to move from point O and I want to move to point C. You just have to move using these vectors, okay? I'm here at point O, I move this B vector, and then now I'm here at a point B. So once I move a B vector here, okay, once I will, if I can just write here that my OB vector, my OB vector, like moving from point O to point B, I have to move this small letter B vector here. So I can just say here from point O to point B, I have to move this small letter B vector. So now what if I want to move OC, as I've already told you? If I want to move OC, it means that I have to move from this point O and then I have to go toward to point B first. So from point O to point B, that is my first movement. And after that, I need to move from point B to point C. This is my path of traversing from O to C. So I started point O in my lattice, I moved to point B, and then I continue from point B, I move to point C. From O to B, from B to C. That is going to get me where I want to be. This is my destination because I'm moving from lattice point O to lattice point C. How do I represent the lattice vector, or how do I represent my lattice movement? The first movement that I've highlighted with yellow is moving from point O to point B, and it is represented by this vector, which is small letter B, the one written in blue here. That is the movement here that I've highlighted in yellow, from point O to point B. Then now for me to move now from point B to point C, I would have to move the same displacement as this A here that I'm having here, as this A here, because remember that here, if we're just looking at the geometry of the shape here, these two sides must be equal to one another. This side and this side are equal to one another, and also this side and this side are equal to one another. So we can just say in this particular diagram, this side is also equal to the vector A. So this side is also equal to the vector A. Okay, so my movement, if I want to move from point O to point C, I move from point O to point B, I'm moving this vector B here, and then from point B to point C, I'm moving this vector A. So this movement that I'm having here is the one that I can be able to describe it and say that for me to move from point O to point C, the lattice vectors that I should move 1 unit of A, and then I should move 1 unit of B. So this is A plus B, or you can say B plus A, depends on because addition is commutative, it doesn't matter. But here the point is here, for me to move from point O to point B, I had to move this small letter B vector, this blue vector. And for me to move from point B to point C, I had to move this A vector, because this side is the same as that side, is A vector. This A vector, this is the vector that I was supposed to move. So now I can say that my displacement from O to C is A plus B. And if I still want to continue moving, I can still continue moving maybe from point O to point D. If I want to move from point O to point D, I have to do the same thing. I have to do the same thing as well. Remember, from point O, you move to point B, and then from point B, you move to point C. And then from point C, you move to point D. So I just have to complete one part here. I'm just going to fill it up and say, now I want to move from point C to point D. So now, where did I start? I started at point O. So my point of reference, which is O, that's where the lattice vector starts. And then from this reference point, I go to point B, learners. And then from point B, I go to point C. Then from C, I go to D. But mathematically, how do I represent that using vectors? From point O to point B, what do I need to do to get there? I need to move this B vector, the small letter B vector. Then from point B to C, I have to move this A vector. So this is like B plus A. And then from point C to point D, I have to move another A vector again, because basically this side, remember that this lattice, it has got a repetitive pattern. So it keeps on repeating itself. So here, from moving this point A to this point, I can just add another vector A here. I can just add another vector A. And moving from this point to this point again, I can add another vector A as well here. So whatever movements that I make between two consecutive points along the x-axis, I'm going to label it as vector A. So any movement that I make along the x-axis on this particular lattice, I'm going to label it as A. This is A from this A here. So this is how a lattice repeats itself, because a lattice, a crystal a lattice, just generally lattice, it keeps on having a repetitive pattern. It keeps on repeating itself continuously and continuously. So even if I want to move along the y-axis, I can do the same thing. Let me just go back here. If I want to move along the y-axis, I can do the same thing. To move along the y-axis between 2 points in a lattice, I have to move this vector B, this blue vector B. So for me to move from point O to this point here, I have to move the vector B, but in the negative direction. And still, for me to move along these other ways, I have to move vector A here. So we can just say vector A is describing also the breadth of the lattice. This is the vector A that I have to move. So whenever I'm making a movement between 2 points in the lattice along the x-axis, that's going to be my vector A. And if I'm making a movement along the y-axis here, that is going to be my vector B. That is how a lattice repeats itself. So the lattice continuously has a repetitive pattern. So here, for me to move from point O to point D, how do I describe the lattice vector moving from point O to point D? I need to move from point O to point B. So that's the first one. Whenever I want to write the vector OD here, I move from point O to point B, and then from then I move from point B to point C here. That is from point B to point C, and then from then I need to move from point C to point D. So from point C to point D. And I can see that here the vector that I encounter when I move from point O to point B, that is going to be small letter B vector. And when I move from point B here to point C, I'm going to encounter small letter A vector. And then when I move from point C to D, from point C to D, guys, is still going to be the same thing as this other side. So from here to here is still going to be A. This vector here is still going to be A. Okay, even from D to E, I still have to move what? Still have to move the vector A as well to get there. Alright, so now from point C to point D, from point C to point D, I still need to move the vector A. So I keep on adding these vectors until I get to where I need to be. So just adding these vectors together, I can say that the movement, the lattice vector moving from the origin or from point O to the point D in the lattice, it will be given by 2 times angle AA vector A plus vector B. This is the lattice vector OD. You keep on doing the same thing, guys, to reach any point inside the lattice. So inside the lattice, you only need to know these 3 vectors, which is, okay, in this case, you just need to know these 2 vectors because it's a 2-dimensional structure. But in the first diagram that I presented here in the first slide, we had 3 vectors. In this case, we had vector A, we had vector B, we had vector C. So I can move to any lattice point, or I can move to any point in this lattice just by using these vectors. So I can move to this point here as well just by using these vectors. To move to this point, I have to just add this vector B, vector B, vector B, vector B. So basically, I already know that every vector that I find between 2 consecutive points along my x-axis here for this diagram is going to be what? Is going to be my vector B. So this can be vector B as well. This one is also vector B. This one is also vector B. This one is also vector B. All of them, they are equal to one another because basically in a lattice, we've got a repetitive pattern. Okay, the unit cells have got a repetitive pattern. Even if we look at the value of A, the vector A will also be found here. This is also going to be vector A as well. From here to here is also going to be vector A as well. So any point there that is going to be vertical is still going to give the same value of vector A, but it can become in different directions now. It can become negative vector A because you are now moving in another different direction. but any vector that you're gonna find along this line, along this axis here, is going to be vector A, vector A, vector A, as long as it's between 2 points in a lattice. And this keeps on becoming like the same repetitive pattern. The same pattern repeats over and over again. If you move along the z-axis, when you move along the z-axis, let me just say you are moving along the z-axis. Let's just say I'm here and then I move from here and then I move up in this way. So this movement along the z-axis from this lattice point here to this lattice point, let me just highlight them for you so that you can see them clearly. From this yellow lattice point to this blue lattice point, my movement from this yellow lattice point to this blue lattice point is going to be equal to this vector C. It's going to be equal to this vector C. It just depends on what is your reference or where are you starting with this movement. But the main idea is that here, the lattice vector, it helps you to be able to locate any point on the lattice. It helps you to locate any point on the on the lattice. And what helps you to achieve that? You need to just know what are the scalars, which is the U, the V, and the W. For the example that I've already done for you here, you are able to see that here, for example, this vector OD, moving from point O on the lattice, moving from point O on the lattice here to point D on the lattice, we had to have two vectors of A, and then we had one vector of B for us to move this, for us to move from point O to point D. All right. And as for us to move from point O to point C, we had to have vector A plus vector B. If you can just look carefully here, this is what we this is what we had. Let me just wrap off here so that you guys can see clearly. So here, for us to move from point O to point C, we had to move a vector B, and after that we had to move another vector A here. That's why we had A plus B, right? So we keep on having that repetitive pattern. So these scalars here, for example, in this particular vector, the scalar here for A, it is 2, and then the scalar here for B, it is 1, or the coefficient, it is 1. These coefficients, they are the ones that help us to be able to locate where exactly is the point that we are going to from the reference point. The reference point is simply the point where you start looking for your lattice. So let's just do that example again in the 3-dimension way. If I just say I'm going to find a lattice point, maybe let me just say that this lattice point here at the corner, this lattice point, let me just say lattice point my lattice point. This is my lattice point. If I say give me a lattice vector, that will be able to locate that lattice point. How are you going to find it? Let me just remove all of this. Okay, so you are given this reference. This is your reference. This is where you are starting here at the reference. All right, and I want to get all the way to this lattice point here. I want to get here to this lattice point here. To get here to this lattice point, you have to just try and trace how much do you need to move. You need to move from your reference and you move to this corner lattice here. And then from this corner lattice, you need to move again from it. You go to this lattice here at the top, the one that you are looking for, right? So you just need to look at what vectors are found there in that particular lattice. In this particular case, you can see that this is moving along the x-axis. This is our, let's just look at our convention, or this is our y-axis. For my convention here, this is my y-axis. So moving along this yellow line from this lattice point to this lattice point, that is going to be equal to my vector A, but in the opposite direction. Okay, it's moving in the same line but in the opposite direction. And then moving from this point going vertically up, that is going to be equal to my vector C, exactly the way it is. So from this lattice point to this lattice point, that is going to be negative A. And then from this lattice point that I'm at here right now, and to go up there, that is going to be positive C, because I'm moving vertically up, right? So basically I can just say here, from moving from this reference point to maybe to lattice point A and then to lattice point B, how do I write the lattice vector there? I would say that the lattice vector, which is OB, let me just say that's your OB. So for me to move from O to B, I have to first move a vector negative A. I have to move like in the opposite direction to what? I have to move in the opposite direction to this vector here, to this vector A that is provided in the initial question. And then from then, I have to move up. I need to move vertically up. I need to move the same magnitude as the magnitude of vector C. So this is actually going, this point, for me to get from this reference point where I started here, where all the vectors are stemming from, for me to get from that point all the way to get to that corner lattice point there at point B, I need to add vector A and vector C together. Because here, from me to move from vector A to C to B, I need to now move like C, this vector C here, that is, which is along the z-axis. So that is going to give me something like OB is equals to vector A plus vector C. So you keep on doing that, and you keep on doing that, and you keep on doing that. This is how we locate points on a lattice. You don't have to traverse the points in other ways. You just need to use the lattice vector. So now let's just make sure that we make a difference, a clear difference between a lattice vector and the basis, because those are different from one another. All right, when we talk about a lattice vector, we already explained a lattice vector that it is a displacement vector. It is a displacement vector, and it connects any 2 points in a what? In a periodic lattice. Any 2 points in a periodic lattice are connected by the what? By the displacement vector, or by the lattice vector. Any 2 points. All right. For example, point O and point A are connected by lattice vector A, small letter A. So basically, a lattice is just a geometric shape, ladies and gentlemen. A lattice is just a what? A geometric shape. It's just a shape. That is why you didn't hear me talking about atoms here. You didn't hear me talking about atoms for this diagram, because these are just lattice points. These are just points on a lattice. Points on a lattice, they are just points that have got a certain pattern in, or a certain manner in which they keep on repeating and repeating and repeating. That is a lattice. It's just got lattice points. So point O and point A and point C, point B, point D, point E, all of those are all lattice points. They are lattice points. They are not atoms, they are lattice points. So whenever I'm talking about a lattice vector, I'm talking about the displacement vector, this displacement vector that helps me to get from one lattice point to another. All right. So this displacement vector helps me to get from one lattice point to another. But now when we talk about a basis, when we define it, it is a specific group of atoms. Now we are now putting atoms. A basis is a specific group of what? Of atoms, or ions, or molecules that are attached to every lattice point to form the complete crystal structure. So here, when you look at the difference between these two diagrams, is that in the second diagrams, these lattice points, they now have atoms on them. Okay, so the basis, we are talking about a group of atoms that are attached to what? To each and every lattice point. But in a lattice vector, we are only talking about the lattice points alone. Just pretend that you don't know that this is all about atoms and ions and whatever. So you just assume that this point B in this first diagram, point B, C, D, E, O, and A, all of them, they are just points in space, in geometric space, and they've got a specific pattern in which they repeat, defined by these lattice vectors. But now, the moment you start inserting some atoms, or the moment you start putting or placing some atoms on each and every lattice point, that now becomes that group of atoms, or the group of ions, or the group of molecules, or simply when you start inserting particles or attaching particles to each and every lattice point here, that now forms a crystal structure. This is known as a basis. So a basis is just a group of atoms that are being attached. So for us to be able to form a crystal structure, we just need a lattice and a basis. Those are the two things that form a crystal structure. So for us to form a crystal structure, or for us to form a crystal lattice, we need a lattice. A lattice is just points in space that have got a specific repeating pattern. This is a lattice, it's just points. It's a two-dimensional lattice for this one. Okay, but now when I add it to the basis, or when I add it to what, or when I combine it with a group of atoms and I attach those atoms into specific points on that lattice. Now that makes a crystal lattice. We now call it a crystal lattice because it now has a basis. It now has that group of particles attached to every single lattice point to form the complete crystal structure. So thank you so much for watching this a wonderful video, physics students. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to also stay tuned.